Welcome to this talk. It's called The Science Agenda to Exterminate Blacks. Now, the truth is there is a concerted, organized, long-standing effort to eliminate African Americans from the human gene pool. Not just African Americans, by the way, but Africans. This is happening right now. You are being subjected to it. It's happening through multiple vectors of science, medicine, and food, and it's all being done covertly. So almost no one is aware of this. The entire mainstream media refuses to acknowledge this. The scientific community will say that none of this is true. And yet, if you look at the facts that I'm going to share with you and the history that's undeniable, you will see there is a concerted, organized effort to eliminate blacks.
President Obama is in fact dead. It was a US-led Osama Bin Laden is dead.
He unveiled details that have never before been heard about how Obama was killed and what led to the American forces finding out where he was.
We were hearing that a US helicopter actually went down near the attack where Obama was killed.
Osama Bin Laden is dead. We also now was at work for this occasion.
It says Osama Bin Laden, terror mastermind, is reported dead.
On Sunday afternoon, at which the president gave the go-ahead, he got the news later that Obama had been killed.
And everybody is waiting to hear him speak. But this is what we do know at this point. This has been sort of labeled as a situation that deals with national security. What they're calling it is a national security development. And we've been saying that President Obama is going to speak about this.
Who is Barrack Hussein Obama Bin Laden?
The following program contains violence, disturbing imagery, nudity, and, oh my God, why are you even watching this?
Osama Bin Laden is planning to attack the United States of America. And I'm telling you, be prepared for a major attack. But it won't be Osama Bin Laden. It will be
Barrack Hussein Bin Laden.
You know, I always thought it was strange that the person identified as a leader of the attack upon America and the World Trade Center was named Osama. And while the person that the CIA is now grooming to become the president of America is named Obama. I'm a name person. I just get into it. Pardon me. I thought it's strange. I mean, I would have thought that America would have rejected Obama simply because his name was so close to Osama. Osama. But, you know, nobody said a mumbling word about the fact that the man's name was Obama, especially after they've been changed back from Barry to Obama.
I'm going to represent the black community, even though they didn't send me, but I'm taking your black card.
A lot of people from the Christian perspective and the Muslim perspective and the Jewish perspective, he's looked at in different spectrums, especially the quote-unquote white Anglo-Saxon people in this country. They view Barack Obama as a secret closet Muslim that's against white America.
I'll ask you a question. I do not I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab.
Many other Americans have Muslims in their families or have lived in a Muslim majority country. I know because I am one of them. My father came from a Kenyan family that includes generations of Muslims. We will convey our deep appreciation for the Islamic faith, which has done so much over the centuries to shape the world.
We are no longer a Christian nation.
We do not consider ourselves a Christian nation. The United States has been enriched by Muslim Americans. Since our founding, American Muslims have enriched the United States. You know, one of the points I want to make is that if you actually took the number of Muslims Americans, we'd be one of the largest Muslim countries in the world. Let there be no doubt, Islam is a part of America.
Barack Obama is not a Muslim name. It's actually Hebrew, Zionist Jewish. It's Hebrew. And if you look into the Hebrew dictionary, Barack Obama means fallen lightning. And when you delve into that, that's not even his real name, people. His real name is Barry Soetoro. They want you to believe that he was born in Hawaii. A lot of conspiracy theorists or right-wingers say he was born in Indonesia, he was born in Kenya. No. Ladies and gentlemen, Barack Hussein Obama was born in a small town in Egypt, 7:07 a.m. He was not born August 4th, 1961. That birth certificate, that whole thing is a sham.
You was no longer allowed at the cookout. I don't know where the fuck you came from. And apparently nobody in the world really know where the fuck you came from, sir.
The CIA recruited Obama in 1982 for work in Afghanistan, put him together with a group of people called the Mujahideen at the time, who later evolved into what we now know as the Taliban. And Obama was there for 3 years, 2.5 years, training the Mujahideen, training them in political understanding. He was a perfect translator of English and giving them the opportunity to understand how to integrate themselves with the weapons that America was affording the Mujahideen to fight against the Soviet Republic.
To be fair, we had helped to create the problem we're now fighting. How? Because when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, we had this brilliant idea that we were going to come to Pakistan and create a force of Mujahideen, equip them with Stinger missiles and everything else to go after the Soviets inside Afghanistan.
I mean, let's remember here, the people we are fighting today, we funded 20 years ago.
Then the Mujahideen later became the Taliban and later took over the government of Afghanistan. There also rose Al-Qaeda and Osama Bin Laden, using Afghanistan as a training or proving ground. That's where the power to take down the World Trade Centers originated, there in Afghanistan. But that was after Obama left.
The reason why you in the extermination video is because your ass ain't black. You have not done shit for black people. You had the power to uplift black people, African Americans that's out here that don't know who they is. You know what I'm saying? You could have empowered them, but you chose not to do that. You a hoe, sir.
The media said he was born in America. The media said he was black, and that was it. Not the Bible, not God, not the Word of God, but the media.
I'm starting to wonder myself whether or not he was born in this country.
So I have people that actually have been studying it, and they cannot believe what they're finding.
He gave a birth certificate. Whether or not that was a real certificate, because a lot of people question it, I certainly question it.
Several months later,
Barack Obama was born in the United States, period.
Well, first of all, it's true, I'm not American. I was not born in Hawaii. I wasn't born in the United States of America. I come from Kenya. And so I think people saw my election as proof, as testimony that our society has continued to become more and more naive.
Sir, where the fuck is your birth certificate? I'm gonna need to see which hospital you was birthed at, because I don't know where the fuck you came from. Nigga, they said you was from Hawaii. Then they said you was from Chicago. Then they said you from Africa. Then you from the Middle East. But the Middle East is really fucking Africa. Mr. President Osama Bin Laden.
Did you ever hear of Osama Bin Laden before you heard of Saddam Hussein? When did you start hearing of Osama bin Laden? It was after Saddam Hussein and Iraq were supposedly neutralized in the Gulf War because they needed a new boogeyman.
Sir, I'm on your ass, sir.
A CNN reporter found Osama bin Laden, took a television camera crew with him, went into Osama bin Laden's hideout, interviewed him and his top leadership in their hideout.
You have declared a jihad against the United States. Can you tell us why?
The US government has committed acts that are extremely unjust, hideous, and criminal, and we believe the US is directly responsible for those killed in Palestine, Lebanon, and Iraq. The arrogance of the United States regime has reached the point that they occupied Arabia, the holiest place of the Muslims. For this and other acts of aggression and injustice, we have declared jihad against the US.
And he came out and told everybody, within 3 weeks, Osama Bin Laden is going to attack the United States and Israel. Now, don't you think that's kind of strange, folks? You see, because the largest intelligence apparatus in the world has been looking for Osama Bin Laden for years and years and years and can't find him. You see, the CIA created Osama Bin Laden.
I know who the fuck you really is, sir. Sir.
And he was given the presidency. They gave him the president for his service that he served there in Afghanistan. And not only that, but while he was serving in Afghanistan, they gave him a phony identification as being a student at Columbia University. And nobody on Columbia University during the years of 83 and 84 can say they saw Barack Obama, who was a tall, striking, 6'2", striking, lean, very charismatic, if you will, alleged to be black man. Nobody remembers him. Nobody remembers ever seeing him on the campus of Columbia University for 2 years. Nobody sat in a class with him. You can't find one student that went to Columbia in the year 82, 83, 84 that remembers ever seeing somebody like Obama. But next thing you know, he's admitted to Harvard Law School and given the Harvard Law Review, then given the presidency, all because of his service in Afghanistan. And 9 months into the presidency, they gave him the Nobel Prize for Peace when he had not even done anything, hadn't served the Americans for even a year. However, his greatest accomplishment was the devastating effect he had upon the Bible and the church, instituting same-sex marriage. And for some of you, the Marriage Equality Act was put through by Obama, though the LGBTQ had been a part of the American fabric for many years.
Why did Obama bring the Obama nation to Obama's nation?
I don't believe those are even his kids. I mean, his wife is not a woman.
That's it. That's it.
When when Michelle's mad, I get worried. When Michelle's mad,
I think his wife's a man.
Anybody got any shots of Michelle Obama pregnant? Love to see it.
You also believe that she's a man.
It's not about belief. I do facts.
That's it. With your arms now. That's it.
The reality of the world is much different than you've been told on fake news.
You think the reality of the world is that Michelle Obama has a penis?
That's it. Move.
I do believe that,
So
based
why
on
spread
multiple videos.
But you need like evidence that's kind of substantive beyond the video.
I believe that we can make a very good case, including people who are biological experts who can weigh the Adam's apple, measure the shoulders, and all of that Michelle Obama is a man.
Joanne Rivers had a talk show on HLN, one of those news broadcasting stations, and she said Michelle Obama was a transvestite.
Do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
No, Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
A couple of months after that, Miss Joanne Rivers got a supposed case of cancer or a stroke or whatever, and she ended up dead. Obama sent a small group of Navy SEALs in an insurgent mission in Afghanistan to take out Bin Laden, Osama Bin Laden. A couple of months after that incident, one of these individuals that were a part of the Navy SEAL team were going to come public and make the book public knowledge of where they weren't sent out to take out Bin Laden, and it was all a sham. And it just so happened that all of these Navy SEAL members were on a helicopter on a mission headed somewhere to give some information out on a press conference on national television, and the helicopter mysteriously lost power, and it was a crash, and they all died. His aunt in Africa said that, you know, he was born in Africa. What happened to her? Obama's aunt is mysteriously dead now.
Africa don't even like your ass. You know Africa don't fuck with you for real. You know what I'm saying? You not the right skin color to be the savior, so you gonna have to sit your bitch ass down, no matter how you feel. I'm sorry, sir.
Everybody who has physical documented evidence against this Barack Obama guy ends up dead.
There's an actor by the name of Harry Lennox. There's a lot of people out there who say that Harry Lennox actually trained Barack Obama how to act and become president.
Yep.
This guy is the star of The Blacklist, the #1 hottest news show on TV with James Spader. He was, many will remember, he was the general in Superman. He's a top, maybe the top African-American Shakespearean actor. He's got a version of Henry V coming out. So he's leaving my studio and he sees a cutout we have of Obama. And he says, well, he's a rat bastard.
Did Obama train to be like you, or is that not true?
You have to ask him.
He saw him.
You guys have such similar mannerisms.
Yeah, well, I knew him a long time.
You knew him, okay.
So, yeah, but
So Obama didn't literally train to be like you.
I have no idea what he did. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he
Okay, no.
He saw it. That's
Yeah, he saw me. I knew him.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a conspiracy until you start listening to Harry Lennox talk and looking at his gestures, and you say, damn, that's Obama's twin.
Anybody ever mistaken you for another celebrity? I get mistaken for President Obama quite a bit, actually. Yeah.
And Harry Lennox has to work in Hollywood. And I really love the guy, and I hope I don't get him in trouble by revealing this. But he did say, I know him, probably only Michelle knows him better than I do. And he said he's very stupid. He's been taught to act like this. How long did he know he was going to be president? He said, well, he knew from 1998.
I gotta go back to America. I gotta go get ready for the bomb. Osama Bin Laden getting ready to bomb. Osama Bin Laden getting ready to bomb. You better watch out.
Hey, Harry, can I shake your hand real quick? I have a question about Obama. Did Obama train to be like you?
I'm sorry. I'm glad.
So was that interview bullshit, or what was that all about? Hey, Harry, I'm sorry to obsess over this question.
Yeah.
It was just such a mind-blowing interview. Like, the guy said, like, the world doesn't work like that, in my opinion.
Are you a reporter or something?
I'm an independent journalist kind of guy, but
I never said those words.
Okay.
Right? I mean, if you want to, I don't like Barack Obama, so you could say, but or his policies.
Okay.
For everybody who thinks that he should be representing black people in America, okay, you're out of your damn minds, because like I've said before, it goes off of the mother's lineage. Okay? These Zionist Jews in power, they go off the mother's lineage. In ancient African spirituality, it went off of the mother's lineage, who mysteriously died when she was going to come out and say that this man was born in Egypt in 1962. So who is Barack Obama's mother?
Let's trace back his lineage. Mother Ann Dunbar. She's a Caucasian, so she's a Japhetite. His father, Barack Obama Sr. He's from Kenya, which is in the Central Africa. That makes him a Hamite. Put the two together for the child. The child is a Japhet Ham, so he's not part of the 400 years of slavery.
And if you look closely at Obama's supposed quote-unquote father and Obama's facial structure, he looks nothing like his father.
Nothing at all.
Not the same ears, not the same nose, not the same nose bone, not the same eyes, not the same complexion. It's a complete hoax, people.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. We really don't know who the hell this guy is. We really don't know who this guy is, man. He's the only president in U.S. history where we had no access to their records. That ought to tell y'all something, people. Who the hell do we got up here in this presidential seat? Who is this guy?
Obama is Hitler's grandson. Barry Obama Hitler. We did not win World War II. We lost to the Nazis. Hitler did not die in a bunker in 1944. That was his butler, who was also his body double. He escaped to Argentina along with other Secret Service. Eva Braun went with him, and their daughter, and who had been born in 1942. While in Argentina, Eva and Adolf had 3 more daughters who were taken to Germany to be raised in the motherland. After Hitler died in Argentina, in 1957, Eva Braun changed her name to Madelyn Lee Payne and moved to the U.S. She married Stanley Dunham, and her name became Madelyn Dunham.
Stanley Armour Dunham, March 23, 1918 to February 8, 1992, was the maternal grandfather of Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States. He and his wife Madelyn Payne Dunham raised Obama from the age of 10 in Honolulu, Hawaii. Stanley Dunham's distant cousins include 6 U.S. presidents and another president who is Dunham's grandson, James Madison, Harry Truman, Lyndon Johnson, Jimmy Carter, George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush, plus Barack Obama, his grandson.
You and George Bush playing games. How the fuck y'all related? How the fuck is you, George Bush, Osama Bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, how the fuck all you niggas all related? Trump, I don't know.
Their daughter became Stanley Ann Dunham, and was 19 when she became pregnant by a Kenyan national named Barrack Obama. She moved to Kenya and gave birth to her son, Barry. In time she realized that the man she married was already married with children, and she returned with her son to America. Shortly after her return to America, she married Lolo Soetoro.
His adopted father, Lolo Soetoro, was one of the 10-15 richest men on earth. And when he died, he left a trust fund in Indonesia with 3 equal beneficiaries. Barack Obama, then known as Barry Soetoro because he was adopted.
Has anybody black ever gone and checked out who it is in the White House? He went through school as Barry Soetoro. His stepfather and adoptive father, Lolo, L-O-L-O, Soetoro, died as one of the 20 richest men on the planet Earth. He is probably the richest man to ever occupy the White House. Lolo Soetoro was a major in the Indonesian Army and a contractor with the CIA. What Daddy did was run death squads for the Indonesian government. Oh, did you see the stuff where Warren Buffett, Dick Cheney, and Barack Obama are all cousins? They're related. Did you see that?
I heard about it. So he selected
CNN did that. Also, an interesting other relative is Brad Pitt, the actor.
See, the Soetoros and the Bushes go back 40-some years.
The bloodlines are very, very important to the Illuminati, and they farm out their children, or have illegitimate children to spread their bloodlines far and wide.
If they didn't plan for Obama to be the president 15 years ago, what the hell was Barack Obama doing with Bill Clinton, the Clintons, and the Bush family right before Hurricane Katrina? He was put back here to be the reincarnation and the physical embodiment of the ancient ruler Nimrod. Okay? And if you think it's bullshit, Nimrod was a Babylonian ruler who had a Caucasian mother and a Moorish father. That's why when you look at the original picture of Nimrod, he has features that look just like Obama, and you could tell he is a result of interracial mixing. Everything Obama is doing is exactly what the Babylonian king Nimrod did to our Moorish ancestors in Babylon, people in ancient Iraq. Oh yeah, it's all on repeat. It's all on repeat, and Nimrod turned against his father's lineage, which was the Moors, and sided with his draconian reptilian bloodline, which was through his mother. And if you look at some newscasts, you can see videos of Obama explaining the whole reptilian theology and how we have a reptilian part of our brain and our DNA inside of us.
Wow. People. There's still kind of a reptilian side of our brain, right? That part of our brain that if somebody looks different or sounds different, that there's a part of us that is cautious.
Now, for him to get into that presidential seat, they couldn't show connections with Farrakhan.
Oh, of course.
We voted for our brother, Barack. Beautiful human being with a sweet heart.
Even him and Farrakhan asked a few words during his first election, And they questioned him about that. Hitler was using that against him. She asked him, you get mad support from Farrakhan and the Muslims, so what's up with that?
And just like
deny that.
Yep.
Are you suggesting Senator Obama's not standing on principle?
No, I'm just saying that you asked specifically if he would reject it. And there's a difference between denouncing and rejecting.
I don't see a difference between denouncing and rejecting. There's no formal offer of help from Minister Farrakhan that would involve me rejecting it. But if the word reject, Senator Clinton feels is stronger than the word denounce, then I'm happy to concede the point. And I would reject and denounce.
Good.
Okay.
Excellent.
See, we know this enemy. And now he's an assassin. They've turned him into them.
And just like Farrakhan, Obama, is saying he's Muslim, but you see pictures of Obama with the Jewish, what do you call that thing? Menorah?
Check this picture out. What you just saw was an old picture of Michelle Obama with Farrakhan's wife.
Yeah.
You see? So the claims of him being Muslim are somewhat true but they all on the same playing field.
Yeah.
I keep telling people you can't have no 100 people gather and without getting a permit.
Exactly.
So the whole Farrakhan Million Man March, they had to get a permit from the same people they going up there saying we marching against.
Exactly.
What sense does that make? Why would I grant your permission to do that against me? Unless we all on the same team. So they all together. You just saw the picture with the man wife.
I have the list of Obama's top 13 supporters financially that funded both of his campaigns. It could basically be called the KKK. Let's list them all. We got J.P. Morgan Chase. We got Microsoft, which is ran and owned by Bill Gates, who supports Planned Parenthood and who's killing Africans and with inoculation shots right now.
We're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
We have Google, who funded Obama's campaign, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, Time Warner, IBM Corporation, University of California, Cal, Harvard University, Stanford University, the U.S. Department of Justice.
What the fuck is going on?
The U.S. Department of Justice gave Barack Hussein Obama $1.3 million for his campaign in 2008. And, it was also stated that Oprah was one of the funders, and it was interesting. They just labeled something as U.S. government. That could have been anybody. That could have been the CIA. I think it was the CIA because Obama's mother had ties to the CIA. Okay? This is all a hoax. It's all a sham. You know why? To split everybody up and to confuse everybody. The United States is split up into 3 groups right now. Quote-unquote black, quote-unquote white, and quote-unquote Hispanic/Mexican. And Obama was put here to set the boundaries in place because united we stand, divided we fall, people. Obama, I believe, is actually a result of artificial insemination through his mother, through his Zionist Jewish mother that has reptilian DNA.
Yeah.
And he was birthed out in Egypt where the stars were aligned perfectly, okay? And he was trained, prepped, and primed to be the man that he is today. And I believe he even has an MK Ultra chip in the back of his mind, just so he doesn't even have the urge to rebel. If you do your research, Bin Laden, Osama Bin Laden, is actually related to Obama, okay? And I believe it's through his mother, because his mother had ties to the CIA, and so did Osama Bin Laden. You look at the words Osama and Obama, you look at his middle name Hussein, you have Saddam Hussein in the Middle East, okay? You have George Bush, who had ties to to Saddam Hussein and Bin Laden's family because they were all oil buddies. The Saudi Arabians had oil. The Bushes in Texas had oil.
It's all about this oil, man.
Yep,
that's what connected the Bin Laden Bush family, man. It's all about the oil, brothers in commerce.
They said that Obama's birth certificate was fake, and they proved it was fake. Okay, but the mainstream media was playing it down. So what happened 4 days after that, May 1st, 2011? We killed Osama Bin Laden. He's a patriot. He really supports this country. He took out Osama Bin Laden. And like I said, those Navy SEAL members died because they were going to expose the farce and say that they were never called out to take Bin Laden out. Obama, Biden, Osama Bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, all three of those names are intertwined and interconnected with each other because they're all serving the same agenda, the same New World Order agenda, okay?
Wow.
They knew, we're dealing with witches and sorcerers who took our ancient ancestors' knowledge and just, basically used it against us.
When you say he's the Antichrist, go ahead and specify whether you mean by Antichrist, who is the real Christ, and why this is not in an association with Christianity's Antichrist.
The original terminology for the word Christ is one whose body, mind, and spirit is pure and whole and back to nature, and who has gained something we like to call Christ consciousness. That has nothing to do with Jesus, aka Serapis. So when you talk about an anti-Christ, that would be any body or any organization that's against our soul's ascension.
There you go. And we know that's Barack Obama.
Yep, he's the reincarnation of Nimrod, and he was put back here to turn on his father's lineage, who are the descendants of the Christ beings, the Africans in America right now, as we speak. And what has he done to support Africans in America? And he was trained, prepped, and primed to be that way. And he had a microchip implanted in the back of his head. You'll see the scar in the back of his head to prove that.
This little girl, Obama's all snuggled up to her, kissing her. Just can't help himself. Then you look at the boat, the little girl in the boat. You look at her face, where she is, her swollen eyes. You look at Clooney zipping up his pants. Look at the shirt in the White House on Obama's lap. And now I want you to look at the same shirt. This is the same little girl.
You're canceled, Obama. You're canceled, Osama. Fuck out of here.
Not trying to be insensitive, but you is not my relative. All irrelevant conversations take me out my element. I seen a nigga hating on me. Man, don't you be a